Hello everybody out there, I'm Chris.
Mike.
And welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. Apologies, this is late. It's been one of those weeks again, and honestly I didn't even think we were going to do it tonight because I had a massive headache when I got home from work. But the good news is it went away long enough for me to do this. Unfortunately, we weren't on last night's live show for Comic Frontline, but I would definitely recommend checking it out. Lots of big news came out of this week's Frontline Live. Apologies, the indie review was done and set to go up on Monday morning. I completely forgot to set it to public, so it's been public for about 24 hours. Today we are recording on Wednesday. Big books coming out in 2 weeks. Well, next week. Yeah, 2 episodes, because for us it's next week. Got a lot of books this week, so let's not waste any time. The books in this episode were released on
May 6, 2015, the first week of May. And it's your birth month.
That's right. We got the first week of the number 2s, or week number 5, if you want to consider it that, for Convergence, and we got a couple of Marvel books. Final issue for the Return of the Living DeadPool. I was surprised. I thought there was one more issue, so when I got to the end, I was like, really, this is it. So DeadPool and Liz are fighting their way through a world of Deadpools, a world of zombies, and then they finally get to the Sanctuary, where this was a very quick read. The way I'm really talking about it, it really went through quickly. Artwork was excellent, though. But we find out that Deadpool has to go into this machine that will degenerate him. And in degenerating him, it'll degenerate his link to the other Deadpools, and the other Deadpools will die too. There is a twist, though, however, with Liz at the end of this issue. And I really like that, and it definitely leaves this series open for another sequel if they really, really wanted to do so. Like I said again, the book is completely in black and white. Except, of course, for Deadpool, who is in color, because, well, he's Deadpool, so Deadpool always gets the color, I believe. So I like the characters in here. This is one of the only Deadpool minis I really, really enjoyed out of all the Deadpool minis that we've read. We will be trying out Deadpool for Secret Wars, so look forward to a lot of stuff there. We actually ended up picking up a lot more Secret Wars books, or a lot more Marvel books than we thought we would. The first issues are a bit pricey, but I did do a future check, and most of the books then go back to $3.99 after the first initial issue. So it's something that we can live with for like issue number 1. And it's probably going to be double-sized anyway. We'll talk about all this on Friday's Dark Avenger Live. We'll talk about some of the books we got and why we got them, and etc., etc. Empire of the Dead Act 3, issue number 2. Joe. This book actually focuses a lot on Joe being in this camp where all the kids are. She makes friends with this dude. She wants to escape. We don't see Xander in this issue at all. Paul's only in the very beginning of the book. He is planning a sting to get Joe back. You have Penny, who is confronted by the mayor, and she's trying to avoid him, and now the mayor is finding out more about what's going on behind his back with his wife visiting Paul, and things are definitely building up. I'm not going to spoil the end of the book either, but there is something really big building up towards the end as well. But you have Shandrake, the mayor, now very weary of his wife and what's going on around him. Paul is now a target in his eyes. Joe is still stuck in this camp. There's really good stuff with Joe in this book. A lot of character development, I feel, for Joe. And then the ending, like I said, it looks like there's a group of people looking to make lots of money, and it's just really good. I want to try to find a good page for art, but no zombies in this issue. And, well, there are vampires, of course, because we have the mayor, but again, we're very hefty on the vampire part, and this is Empire of the Dead. I was hoping we would get a little bit more with the zombies, but then again, this is only issue 2, and I believe it's a 5-issue miniseries, so there's still 3 more issues to go, so there's plenty of time to get a little bit more with this series. I'm enjoying Empire of the Dead, however, anyway. The characters are really good. The artwork is very consistent. It's been the same since Act 1, so if you didn't like the artwork in the first volume, you're not going to like it in the second, and you definitely won't like it in the third. Story is definitely very well paced and just a really excellent read. If you like George A. Romero, if you like Night of the Living Dead, I would definitely say to give this series a try, but start from the beginning. Do not start with Act 3 because you are going to miss a lot of info and you are going to be completely lost. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 18, the final Amazing Spider-Man for a while because of Secret Wars. Spider-Man vs. Ghost. You've got, oh god, why did I forget her name at the moment? Anna Marie, and the guy that was part of the Point One, Spiral. Not Spiral, the guy that had the Sonic abilities, remember? From the Point Ones.
Shocker?
Not the Shocker, no. From the little story that was never told.
Wait, let me see the character, because then
I forgot his name off the top of my head, but Spider-Man unfortunately saves Sanji. You have the guy that was from the first... I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he's in Spider-Man's big-time suit using the sonic waves, and Anne-Marie's using like this thin... like not synthetic webbing, like electronic webbing. They save the people inside, however, Parker Industries... Yeah, it doesn't look like Parker Industries is going to be standing anymore. The cover actually says it all, to be honest. Parker Industries is gone.
Wow.
Well, not the company, though. The company, Pete believes that they can come back from anything. They're scientists. We can rebuild, right? Right. And then the final part of the book is all about Black Cat destroying all of her final possessions and being completely free. That's her claim, that she is now free. Her possessions don't possess her anymore. She has no more ties, no more nothing. From now on, there are no more limits to Black Cat. Okay, when it comes to The Amazing Spider-Man, this is the shortest Amazing Spider-Man run I've read, at least in my time of reading Spider-Man I've read. Number one. Number two, I could care less about Parker Industries, to be honest. So the fact that it's gone, I'm hoping that after Secret Wars we get a new status quo for Spider-Man anyway. I mean, if the renewal of the vows happens and he's back with Mary Jane, maybe this could be a positive thing. We know there are going to be ramifications from it, regardless whether it's going to stick or not. There will be ramifications out of it. So maybe it'll be the event that brings Mary Jane and Pete back together at some point. I don't know, but as far as Amazing Spider-Man goes, it was an average read. I thought it was okay, but again, I was not invested in Parker Industries. When they got rid of Doc Ock, I was hoping Parker Industries would follow soon behind. Finally, Spider-Gwen issue number 4. This was a very good issue. This issue, Gwen is confronted by Uncle Ben, and we get to see Aunt May for the first time in this universe. And most of the book predominantly is Aunt May and her explanation to why at first she blamed Spider-Girl. There's an interesting scene at the beginning, but it's with the people that are graffitiing the billboards, asking the tough questions. But I'm going to skip over that, read it for yourself. But Aunt May mentions how at first she was blaming Spider-Girl for what she had done, you know, that it's her fault that Pete died. And then she realized that it wasn't... Oh, Spider-Woman, I apologize. It wasn't Spider-Woman's fault. You know, he was trying to be like her. He wanted to be a hero. He always had a fixation on being a hero. And then she realized that Spider-Woman actually has been trying to... what was the word? Redeem herself. Or she's trying to... oh, where was it? Here it is. She's trying to make up for something. She's trying to make up for probably what happened with Pete. And kind of Gwen gets that resolve in this issue with at least Aunt May and Uncle Ben. And then in the end we get a little bit of the Mary Janes, which I guess allows her to get her stress out. And then we get more about Frank Castle. I'm not going to spoil that. Next issue continues more, but this was a really good issue. I enjoyed this one a lot more. I really liked the dialogue. I liked the characters. I liked the moments in here with, especially Aunt May. Aunt May's character really shined in this book, and I think Gwen's character development really went far in this book, and Aunt May's perception of Spider-Woman and Uncle Ben. First of all, seeing Uncle Ben in general is really, you know, obviously Pete died instead of Uncle Ben. Gwen became the Spider instead of Pete. Really, really interesting stuff. I really enjoyed this book this week. And for a series that's really not done anything for me for the past 3 issues, this 4th issue was really, really good.
Speaking of Frank Castle, The Punisher issue number 18. The Punisher is making an example of Hector Del Sol, which he finally finds after he returns to L.A., and he does so on the highway, just announcing to everybody, you know, who he is and what he does. Like, you know...
I am the Punisher, and I kill everybody.
Yeah, and basically he kills them, and the cops let him go because they say he's not a criminal, he's a Punisher, and LA is, and the city is safe once again. Here's some artwork.
Is this the final issue?
No, it isn't actually, because there's a twist actually.
Okay, I was just questioning because I don't know when a book is going to end with Secret Wars. Usually it ends and it gives the logo for Secret Wars, so if it doesn't end with a secret logo, a Secret Wars logo.
Everybody finds out about that he's back, like the Howling Commandos and basically everybody else, and he does his whole thing about fighting the crime in the streets. Officer Stone does make her return, but kind of makes a interesting return of stabbing both the Punisher and his the Coyote, I guess. And she's known to be called now Miamento. I remember how in the issues back it was called, what was it, Miamento More. So that kind of actually played a huge thing when we saw in the issue back to now. So, yeah, Officer Stone definitely flipped the lid and made a betrayal. So, we always go from one to the other when it comes to the Punisher.
Alright, now Mike's going to be covering this right now, at least until Convergence is over. I want to, since I'm focusing on the DC event, Michael's going to focus on the main Marvel event for a time, and then once DC's event's over, we're going to share it, because there's going to be several books. So let's start with Secret Wars, issue number 1 of 8. It is a twice a month issue miniseries, so it's going to be going on for 4 months. Issue 1 is this week, this episode. Issue 2 came out today.
It's a hefty book.
It's a hefty book, yes it is. This is a $5 book, all 8 issues, you know that.
And it just sets up, you know, of, you know, what's going to happen, where it has, you know, Dr. Doom. I'm sorry, Dr. Doom.
Dr. Newt's a new character that will be created by Stan Lee tomorrow.
Yeah, the multiverse is dying, and only 2 universes remain today, the Earths collide.
Right, and the 616 and the Ultimate Universe are the last 2.
Right, so, I forgot what his name was, I think Maker. I think they have a character selection. No, not character selection.
No, they do not.
Yeah, they do. The character.
Next one. There.
Right here. Yeah. What's his name? Yeah, Maker. Yeah. Basically, the Maker is just talking about, you know, what's going to be happening and what's going on and how they gotta stop what will be happening.
If you want any backup story to what's been going on with Secret Wars, I would recommend reading New Avengers. The entire series since issue 1 has been leading into this. And also I would recommend reading the latest story arc with the Avengers because it's connected to this as well.
This is some artwork, which is beautifully drawn, by the way.
Good artwork in this book, yeah.
And Manhattan's getting invaded, so we have the Avengers, Fantastic Four, along with other Marvel superheroes.
X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Basically everybody and team-ups that are trying to stop this this ship from invading the city and everything. Along with the Hulk, actually, who actually makes a good crash in one of the buildings for some other reasons and stuff like that. So we see like this thing. I thought it was going to be like another Convergence because I saw the dome thing happen here. But it was actually a ship that was coming through. Which,
and it's from the Ultimate Universe because there's Miles.
Yeah, this is the Ultimate Universe where Miles actually shows up. And it's just like a lot of dialogue, like more inner dialogue.
It's very much a setup book, you know. The worlds are colliding, so now the heroes are trying to survive. Scott Summers, what did Scott do? He rejoined up with
I don't know. Like
I
was looking, I'm like saying, what's the Cyclops doing there? Like, is he joining them, or is he?
I think he rejoined up with the Phoenix Force.
Yeah, because he was talking something about the Phoenix of that sense into a different form, so to say. It explains a little bit more in the book, so you could definitely check that out. And
some characters look like they died. Right here, these characters, yeah,
there's a lot of how can I say, it's technical difficulties with the Fantastic Four, and
then the
because Doctor
incursion.
Doom, you know, he's part
This
of
page
it.
was really wow. The Marvel Universe, 1961, 2015. The Ultimate Universe, 2000 to 2015. So
And it has
both
a Punisher,
universes
logo on there.
are gone. That's basically the tombstone for both universes, and then it doesn't even give us much for next. This is a preview for Uncanny.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to say this is a preview for the Uncanny Avengers.
This was a very deep book, and the ending was very like open.
Yeah, and I love the cover by Alex Ross. The amazing covers.
I'm getting the main covers. I love Alex Ross's artwork, and the fact that it's cover price. Yeah, I'm definitely taking advantage of that.
But this is a good setting on point for the next issues to show up. Like there's 8 issues, so well now 7 because we just
and
covered
6
this
after
one.
next episode.
So yeah, get ready for more Secret Wars because it's gonna be
we're gonna be
ride.
discussing books that we're gonna be picking up for Secret Wars on Friday. So stay tuned. And we're going to discuss the ending of Convergence next Friday also.
Oh, this is your book.
Ah, yes, that's right. Sorry.
You're giving it to me. I'm like, wait a minute.
We're now in DC Comics. There's nothing special this week from DC other than Convergence. So, Convergence, Batman and Robin, issue 2 of 2. It's the fighting between Jason and Damian fixes almost automatically. Batman, Jason Todd, and Damian end up teaming up finally as a group and fighting off against their attackers, or I believe it was the Sinister Six that, not the Sinister Six, the Secret Six that showed up at the end of the last issue. But artwork, I like the artwork in this book. It wasn't as sketchy as the last issue. I feel like there's a little bit more. There were some panels where things were a bit more sketchy, but I believe it follows the artwork of the book in the previous pre-New 52 run. And really good moments between Damian and Jason. You know, you got Jason who they were fighting. Damian thought that Jason was going to replace him. Obviously, Damian learned that Jason's not replacing him, that they're really a family. Remember, this is pre-New 52. And like I said, it's just basically lots of action. This is a pure fight book. The best part was the ending, where Superman actually shows up. This is how you know you're reading a book from right before Flashpoint. When Superman shows up in a Batman book, or Batman shows up at the end of a Superman book, and they have that best friend talk moment where Superman and him are talking about having sons and being fathers. You know, Clark just had the baby, obviously, and Batman's talking about Jason and Damian being his biological son, and all the Robins technically also being his sons. So it's just, this was amazing. This was a perfect ending to the book with Superman being in it. This was, you felt like you were reading something pre-New 52, because that's how a real deep story ended with Batman or Superman, with one of them showing up at the end and having that talk.
Yeah, not to mention the Convergence of number 2s have the Divergence different stories.
All of them do. All of the endings
I have no idea why they do that.
Well, they want to give you previews to see what you want and what you don't want. Personally, I didn't look at the previews. I already know what books I'm getting, and that's that. I already know. So, this was a really good, it was a nice read this week. Convergence, the Atom, issue 2 of 2. It turns out that Ryan is still somehow alive, connected by, when he was killed, he's somehow connected to something, but he has no physical body anymore. And in this issue, we find out that Ray actually makes a sacrifice using his own body to bring Ryan back in the physical form. And the both of them end up fighting this, I forgot what this character was, from whatever world he was from.
Looks like he's from Aquaman.
I don't know, but it was excellent. And then Deathstroke shows up to try to kill Ryan, Ray, but remember, Ryan's still gone. He still isn't in the physical form yet, and it turns out that he was hiding with Ray until Deathstroke showed up, and then they kind of screwed Deathstroke to fix what Ray sacrificed so that Ryan Cho could come back through, and it just ends happily, honestly. It ends with both the Atoms alive, and they're still living under the dome, apparently. This is what I don't understand. Some of them end happily where it's the future, so either they won the day and all the towns went back to the way they were, and they're just not saying it yet, or they won the day and they're still living in the dome while other people are fighting outside of the cities.
But here's my question. If all that's ending and everything, then why is Convergence going on and on and on and on? With
this ended. We don't know where these books end, but
doesn't
all the
spoil
books.
The ending?
No, because it doesn't tell you the ending. It just tells you the ending of this character, these characters. That's it.
Right.
Remember, Convergence #1s, all the miniseries were connected or taking place around issue 1 only.
Right.
This is taking place around, I believe, this issue or the next issue, because they talk about a rumbling, an earthquake. So, other than that, there's no connection to the end.
Okay.
Right. Next, we got Justice League issue #2. The girls go to save Mira, who is a prisoner to Flashpoint Aquaman, and his forces, as well as him, they are some. It's dark. It's really dark how Aquaman from Flashpoint is. One of the characters do seem, at least, to be killed in this issue. Until Supergirl shows up and saves the day. But it seems that one of them died. But I love how, if that is true, how they all kind of just walk off in the end, like, oh, happy days, you know, because Mira actually does something, I'm not going to say what, and they end up literally just walking out.
That's it?
That's it. And it just literally ends with Flashpoint Aquaman on his throne.
Wow.
Very straightforward. A lot of these books were quick reads. This was one of the quick reads for me. It was literally just
it looks like it.
all the characters from the Justice League book, issue 1, trying to get their way to Mira and save her from Aquaman. And it was Supergirl. We all knew that was going to happen. Who was the one that actually made it through and was able to save Mira. And actually, it was Mira who gave the final blow to Aquaman. It was a very deep ending, I will say that. It was a good book, average read. If you're a fan of Justice League right before Flashpoint, you'll definitely love this book. This book, however, I personally really liked. It was Nightwing and Oracle, issue #2. Nightwing and Oracle take the fight to the Hawks. And while Nightwing is fighting them physically, you've got Oracle trying to fight them as Oracle. The best way Barbara Gordon can. Artwork was really good in this book. Dick got the crap beaten out of him several times. Also, Black Canary does make an appearance in this issue and actually helps out Nightwing and Barbara for a bit. Things go wrong towards the middle of the book, and then, as always, things go wrong, but then when Nightwing's involved, things always fix up, and it ends again. It looks like a very happy ending. Spoiler alert here, because this book is not going to be talked about again, because once Convergence is over, it's done. I want to get a good picture of Nightwing. I feel like I missed a good picture opportunity with Nightwing. Let's use this. But the cover says it all. Nightwing, Dick Grayson, and Barbara Gordon get married. It looks like a very happy scene with Lois, Clark, everybody from the Justice League. So, is it taking place after Convergence? Or is it taking place during Convergence? We don't know. And we probably won't know until after Convergence, because maybe they went back to their old cities and they're giving us a big conclusion to the pre-New 52 universe, but I don't like that. I want, I would love to revisit this. Now I would like to see where Dick and Barbara would go from here. Where would Nightwing and Oracle go after getting married? I would love to know. And unfortunately, we're not going to get that, because right now we're going right back to the new DC Universe. And I personally, there are a lot of endings in these books that I would love to see play out, especially with this week, because this is the first week. So this is right before Flashpoint. These books, the book's conclusions, really set up for great stories if we were to go back to the old DCU, or at least have some of the books go back to the old DC Universe. Unfortunately, we won't be, so this is the grand finale for all of them.
Convergence Batgirl, issue #2.
Yeah, you only had 3 books this week.
Yeah.
I forgot. I took an extra book or something from you.
It was so-so, the book. Like, it's just really Batgirl and Catman going up against Gorilla Grodd because of what happened in last issue. And Catman, the reason why he wants to go against... Oh, General Grodd, my mistake. He wants to go against him because you know, his friends are dead. So that's like the main reason why Catman wants to go against Gorilla Grodd. The artwork is really amazing. So as he's fighting, you know, Batgirl and why do I keep forgetting his name?
Red Robin.
Yeah, Red Robin and
Stephanie Brown, aka Batgirl.
Batgirl, thank you. Team up to actually, you know, help him fight against Gorilla Grodd. There's like just a little bit of a like misunderstanding from the past because they kept going like back and forth. I really wish they didn't do that because that gets a little bit confusing. So they just want to end Gorilla Grodd, and they actually don't say how it ended between them because it just all these bubbles came in, and that actually happened from last issue. So you know, then after that it's just a regular ending where that's it. Just that's
Stephanie and Tim.
Stephanie and Tim just get together and that's it. So it was like before Gorilla or General Grodd, the bubbles
we don't
came
get
in
the
and
ending, and that's it.
And I just wish that they didn't go back and forth between past and present. You should do that in the first issue. That's why there's an issue number 1.
I agree. Alright, with that, give us just a click of a button and we will be back with the rest of this week's Convergence. Alright, and we're back, and now we're on the Titans issue number 2. I knew it by the end of the last issue that Roy was not going to kill Donna and Starfire Core to save his daughter. He actually misses on purpose and causes a distraction long enough to save his daughter. So he actually tried to find a way around having to kill his friends in order to have his daughter back. And he gets his daughter back, he takes her to safety. The Titans stick around and fight the rest of the... I forgot what group actually ended up showing up. I don't believe they do the beginning part anymore. No, they don't. They just continue forward. See, I don't like that because the first issue of Convergence, it explained what worlds were fighting each other, and now I have no clue. I can't remember. So, unfortunately, Roy loses his daughter and then tricks the guy who brought his daughter to him to actually bring her back. I'm not going to say how he tricked her. You got to read this book. It was excellent. He gets his daughter back, and then 2 times the guy that gave him his daughter back, and they get sent away. How? I'm not going to say that either. You got to read the book to find out. And in the end, something's going on outside the Titan City. They want to go. Roy wants to go with them, but Donna stops him and says, "You got your daughter back now. You stay, and we'll handle it." And Roy basically is saying, you know, no matter how impossible the odds, they'll face it like heroes, like Titans. And he's proud of his friends. And then it's kind of funny because the Divergence preview is for Arsenal and Red Hood, and it's just so funny seeing Arsenal here compared to the Arsenal, aka Red Arrow that we saw here. And it's just so different, and it's so ridiculous. It's not even funny. I don't know if DC's definitely aiming for different, but the Titans was a really good read this week. I really liked it.
Convergence Harley Quinn, issue number 2. The round of Captain Carrot versus Harley Quinn. She's back, being the sadistic Harley Quinn, and it first talks about who's that? Alicadabra?
Sure.
Or whatever it is, yeah. Basically, he's just going around the park trying to find Captain Carrot, and then I thought it looked like that Captain Carrot's buddy died and everything, but that's actually not the case because it's a funny story of this. So, one hour earlier before that, it's Captain Carrot and Harley Quinn who meet up with each other, and you know, I really like the fight. Like, they make it more of a funny fight with amazing artwork than serious, because it's just like I just see it more funny than serious because of the jokes and everything that Captain Carrot has with Harley Quinn. And Captain Carrot's friends are like saying, you know, that we have to warn the Captain that this chick Harley Quinn's a monster. And then we go back to this guy here. I forgot what his name was. that was with Harley Quinn. But there's a whole big thing about that. So we go back to the fight scene, and there's that scene again where what happened to his friend, and it was actually more of a portal that happened. So Harley Quinn wanted to trick Captain Rabbit to thinking that he's dead, but he wasn't. So I thought that was really something. And there's just this whole thing where you know, they fall off the roller coaster, they talk with each other, become friends, and well, let's just say Harley Quinn leaves the guy and goes with Poison Ivy and Catwoman. Basically, it's the three of them back doing the missions, and yeah. So I thought that this was a great issue, but just wow. More funny than serious is what I could say.
My number 2 definitely goes to Speed Force issue number 2. This was an excellent book. Barry versus... wow, good for me. Wally. See, I'm used to saying Barry now. Wally versus Flashpoint and Wonder Woman. And he thinks that it's, you know, a Wonder Woman he can reason with. But Wally doesn't realize Flashpoint Wonder Woman is definitely the least friendly of any incarnation of Wonder Woman next to Superwoman, which is from the Crime Syndicate. So Wally has Fastback take his kids away as he fights Flashpoint Wonder Woman. And he's trying to understand why she's so dark. What happened to her that was so bad that she ended up this way. And towards the end of the book, he actually tells her, you know, I know a lot of incarnations of Wonder Woman, but the truth is, you have no heart at all. And you are, what was it? I feel sorry for you. You're the worst Diana in any of the universes I saw. Disgrace. You have no heart, and you have no feeling of what true family is. And that's when his kids show up. They distract Wonder Woman. He beats Wonder Woman. And that's when the earthquake happens. Fastback leaves. And it says here, catch up with the rest of the saga in Convergence. So this book actually ends saying, check out Convergence. Flash saved his world, or his city. However, Wonder Woman is still trapped. But I thought that the message Wally left with that Wonder Woman, and the message he said in general about what he's about and how heartless Flashpoint Wonder Woman was excellent. It was written really well. I loved the artwork. The artwork was by Grummett. Go figure. Excellent artwork. Love the story. I would definitely highly recommend checking out Speed Force. It was definitely one of my favorite books, and it was really good to read a Wally West book with the Wally I grew up with, the Flash I grew up with. Unfortunately, Wally is no longer the Flash. You know, Barry came back from the dead. That's not unfortunate. Barry's back from the dead, but it's unfortunate that I won't be reading about this Wally, you know, after Convergence.
Convergence to question issue number 2. We have Renee as the female question, who teams up with Batwoman and Huntress. I knew Huntress. To find Harvey Dent because he thinks that there's another Harvey Dent who he wants to confront. So while they're trying to think of a plan how to stop him before that happens, we see both encounter with each other, and I really like the artwork. So Two-Face, you know, I'm gonna call him Two-Face and call him Harvey because they're regular. So Two-Face tells Harvey Dent, you know, that I want you to kill me with this gun. Like, just do it because of you know, other reasons and that as well. So as Renee goes past the security along with the help of... also, we do see a little bit of chemistry between Batwoman and the question Renee from what happened years ago. So as Renee makes it through the security guards and everything, she takes the bullet when Harvey Dent tried to shoot Two-Face, which sent Harvey Dent back to the portal, back to the other world. So, of course, she's alive, but... unfortunately for Renee's father, who was on his deathbed, didn't really make it, and that was a really sad ending for her character. Just to see that, because I remember in the first issue...
But she had her friends with her.
But yeah, she had her friends with her of Huntress and Batwoman. And actually, no, that was her family, by the way. That wasn't
I
her
thought they were with her too.
No, they did other missions, but I definitely would say that's a recommendation to pick up.
This, quite possibly, well, this is my book of the week from Convergence and in general, but this quite possibly could be my favorite series out of Convergence, and at least I got 2 issues of something that I probably won't get again, if not a very long time ever. Superman, issue number 2 of 2. Superman is fighting Captain Thunder, President Cyborg, or former President Cyborg, and Abin-Sur from the Flashpoint universe, and he's trying to convince them he doesn't want to fight them, that, you know, it was a mistake what Jimmy did, and, you know, he's not there to fight them. He wants to work with them to figure out what's going on. Dan Jurgens' artwork in this book, however, I will show a lot of it because it's excellent. I want to find the first really good one. Here's one page right there. I believe I turned the page and it's going to have another excellent... No, 2 pages later I believe has an excellent one. Another flying picture. Excellent. I love Dan Jurgens' artwork when it comes to Superman because this is the best one. I wish they'd make a poster of this page. I love Dan Jurgens' artwork with Superman. I love his writing with Superman, and I believe he did both in this book. I'm going to make sure. I believe it's at the maybe it's at the end of the book where it says who wrote it. No preview. Yes, writer and artist Dan Jurgens. Okay, Superman ends up overpowering all of them because he hears that Lois is in trouble, and he's not willing to wait around and, you know, well, let's try to be nice with each other. So he makes quick work of them. It turns out Flashpoint Superman, or a patient, what was it, patient something, Batman calls him L, takes pregnant Lois to Batman from Flashpoint to, because she's going into labor, and he wants Batman to help her give birth. Abin-Sur from Flashpoint Universe goes to Superman and realizes that Superman's really a hero, gives him the 411 on everything to do with the Flashpoint heroes, or perverted heroes, so to speak. Superman goes to Batman's cave, makes really quick work of the Flashpoint Superman, which I love that. And then the rest of the book is all about Superman, and with the help, after a little coaxing of Thomas Wayne from Flashpoint, with his help, he brings his son into the world. And that's really how the book ends. And it ends, the dialogue, the characterization, the costume, and the ending. I love you, Lois, and she says forever and always. This is, and I'm leaving out all the rest of the dialogue, because if you don't read this book, either you're not a fan of Superman or you're really missing out on something great. This book embodies everything Superman is, was, and ever should be. Anything other, which, yes, I'm pointing the finger directly at the Divergent Superman titles, is not Superman, and I don't care what Dan Didio and Jim Lee write down at the beginning of the Divergence Free Comic Book Day book where things need to change and be shaken up. This character was perfect without being touched. And unfortunately, we won't be seeing this character or this Superman for possibly a very, very, very long time, unless DC Comics decides to open up the multiverse and go back to this Superman at some point. In that case, I will drop everything that isn't this Superman and just read this Superman, because there is only one definitive Superman, and if you want to know who that is, you have 2 issues of him right here in Convergence Superman. Excellent read, excellent book. Dan Jurgens back on Superman. I've been wanting Dan Jurgens back on Superman for so long, and he's finally back on it, and it's an excellent read. 5 out of 5 stars for that book. And Dan, you did an amazing job with Superman. Loved it. Wish there was more of it. Unfortunately, that's it. And now we have Convergence issue number 5. Telos, his origins are revealed, and it turns out he is not part of the planet. We find out that he was somebody who Brainiac took from another planet, who sacrificed himself in order to save his family, and Brainiac turned him into Telos. Deimos actually gave Telos back his memories, and actually we find out that Deimos wants nothing to do with saving Brainiac. He has enough power from all the time travelers that he's enslaved to basically take over listen to me, to take over Telos' planet and control the multiverse. So it's then a fight between the Earth 2 superheroes and Deimos, and things don't go so well for the Earth 2 superheroes at all. Dick Grayson, actually, everybody called it, so I'll say it here again. Dick Grayson actually does become Batman. So possibly Dick Grayson might be the new Earth 2 Batman when all is said and done. But we all knew this, so there's no real spoiler there. So Telos is gone, or lost in the moment, so to speak. The Earth 2 superheroes retreat, but they decide that, okay, we'll retreat for now, but they're going to basically gather the other heroes from the other towns, or the other cities, to fight against Deimos. And Deimos actually reaches out to all of the towns and says, you no longer have to fight. Stop fighting. The fight's over. You'll have your place in my new reality as long as you live for me and you, what do you call it? I'll save all of you, but for a price. Basically, he wants to be their overlord. Finally, at issue 5, with only 3 issues left to go, Convergence is going, at least in a in a direction close to what I thought it was going to be from issue 1, where the Earth 2 heroes were going to unite all the heroes from all the different cities to fight Brainiac, or Telos. Instead now, Telos is kind of taking a backseat to Deimos. I love how all these names are so close to each other. And now, the Earth 2 heroes are going to be uniting the heroes against Deimos, who has now taken over Telos' planet. But I have a feeling somehow Brainiac is going to get reconnected. Deimos has banished Brainiac, by the way. By the end of this issue, he sends Brainiac away again. He doesn't free him. Which I think is a good thing. Brainiac shouldn't be involved in this event. Brainiac's involved in way too many events in DC lately. So, now the question is Telos going to join the heroes? Or is Telos going to turn on them, destroy Deimos, and then it's going to be up to the heroes to stop Telos once and for all? I don't know, but at least this series is going in a direction close. Not exactly, but at least minorly close to what I was expecting in the main Convergence book. Now, will we see other cities finally starting with issue 6? Well, we'll find out in the next episode. With that, that's it for this week's review, guys. As always, don't forget to check out comic-related, Comic Frontline, Zone 4 Podcast, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. And, as always, feel free to leave comments below. We will answer your guys' comments in the comments below. And until next time, apologies, this was late again. Hopefully, next week will be a little bit closer to the on-time or right after on-time time schedule. So, until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. We'll see you guys in the next review.
Hey, everybody.